I think two moments in the game, having them, 200 for 5 and then not quite being able to blast them open like, we know that we can. So they ended up getting a big first innings total, obviously, after us having a good start, having them 5 down for not too many on the board, and then obviously being 80 for 5 in reply to India's first innings. It's always going to be tough to get back into a position where you can look to push on and being on the winning side at the end of the game. I think if we were able to, burst them open when we did have them 5 down earlier on day one, then the game potentially probably would have played out a little bit different. But yeah, as the game got deeper and deeper into it, it was pretty obvious that it was sort of not playing the way that we thought it was going to. And if anything, the longer the game played out, the more it was suiting that Indian team over our team. But as you say, no one's got a crystal ball. No one's really going to know what a wicket's going to do. But yeah, look, having them 200 for 5, we were happy there. Even 5 down at the end of day one, but we just weren't able to bust them open. And we had a chance to potentially bowl them out for under 350 on that wicket, which would have been a good effort. It's one of those things where early on we've got plans on attacking the stumps and trying to bring in the LBW, and there a couple of times early on where he's just managed to get a little inside nick on those, and those are the kind of things that happens when players in form. But yeah, look, he was played amazingly well at Headingley first innings, but these 2 innings he played here were, especially in that first innings, you've got to give your opposition and credit when it's due. And yeah, for him to bang out as many runs as he has done in this game has been, pretty special for him. The efforts that, we sort of all put in as a bowling unit there, especially the big quicks, was, he throws them the ball in any situation and they keep charging in, running in. But it's no secret that, we have spent some time in the field and bowled some overs in the first 2 games, and we'll have to see how everyone pulls up over the next 2 days. But obviously, with it being a quick turnaround, then, there probably will be a decision we have to make, considering given how everyone does pull up after this game. Just to be clear, there's absolutely nothing wrong with Bryden's toes. It's his boots. He keeps blowing through his boots. That's why he keeps nipping off and having to get new pairs on. So there's nothing wrong with Bryden's toes. It'll be a decision that we have to make, seeing how everyone pulls up. We've had him here this week to get around the group and build them up with his workloads and everything like that. So everyone's in consideration for the game at Lords. Oh look, 300 and something's obviously a big margin. But yeah, we knew what task we had of us. Going into when we first went out to bat in the 4th innings, and obviously that changed when we lose 3 wickets like we did last night. It then rains for an hour and a half, and then we lose 2 early wickets. So the task of today, when we got to that point, was batting out the 80 overs. The result that we always try and push towards and look for, obviously, it was beyond. But yeah, there's a way in which you address that, and obviously going into our shells, going into our bunkers and looking to play in a certain way is one way you could look at it. But for us to, as a batting group and a unit, to go out there and bat those 80 overs, it was to go out there and play the way that we play and focus on the fact that we knew we had to bat 80 overs. But yeah, 300 and something's obviously a big deficit. But yeah, India pushed to get 600 for some obvious reasons, I think. 600 it was just a mammoth total to try and chase down. And psychologically, whether that decision was decided at 350, 400, they needed to keep getting more and more and more, I don't know. But yeah, look, we weren't able to deliver our skills than we needed to in that 4th innings with the bat when we were under pressure, and that can happen. We're obviously disappointed, but we got 3 days to turn around, so we need to get over this one, just like we got over the enjoyment and the excitement of winning that first game. So we need to flip our heads around and get our heads on Lords.
Did it hurt you inside at all, having to accept that you couldn't go for the chase because you made it clear you don't like draws, to have to actually go for one time? Did that hurt you in any way?
I wouldn't say it hurts. It's just another thing that you get faced with as international players. You get faced with different situations all the time, and we knew the situation we were faced with in particular this morning when we lost those 2 wickets. And Yeah, the way that everyone just still went about their business and knew that the task at hand was batting out the 80 overs. Even the way Jamie went out and continued the way that he played from his first innings heroics. That's how he felt he was going to be able to spend the most time out there and be someone at the end there, hopefully at the end of the day. But yeah, just wasn't meant to be.